Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Tooka Anonymous _. Alright, we're able to be a little more uncensored, a little more explicit, and share content freely without the risk of having our channel terminated. So make sure you head on down to Instagram once again right now and follow us at Tooka Anonymous _. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, Tooka, right? The infamous Tooka, aka Shondell Gregory. He was a 15-year-old who was one of the first young teens to lose their lives in a gang shooting back in 2011 during the rise of the whole GD versus BD war. Now the story goes like this. Tooka was waiting at a bus stop when a car pulled up in front of him, when a passenger got out of the car, and after exchanging a few words, shot the teen multiple times. Now Tooka was pronounced dead at the scene. Rumor has it that around that time, aside from a little fist fights and threats, there wasn't really any killing going on within the rising drill scene, but Tooka's death is what sparked it all. Now Tooka's death was also so important because people say that Tooka wasn't even involved in all that dissing and gang war. However, he happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and the ops took opportunity to pretty much, score on him. Now, it wasn't just Tooka's death, but it was also what happened after his death that kept Tooka's name alive, but not by his peers. Instead, the ops from the other side began taunting, using Tooka's name in their song lyrics, even up until this very day in 2022, a whole 11 years later. Now, everything as far as the rap lyrics and all that, a lot of people are saying that Chief Keef is solely responsible for starting the whole Tooka gang movement. You either had a person by the name of Young M.A., originally from New York, who said she smoking on Tooka and didn't really know the meaning of it when she was pressed by FBG Duck, and apologized, saying that she thought it was just, like a weed strand or something like that from Chicago. That's why she used it. Now, Tooka's mom recently did an interview with Say Cheese TV. To be honest with you, personally, I wouldn't have had her do the interview because I know that all the ops going to do is use it as ammunition, laugh, make fun, troll, X, Y, and Z. And I don't know, but me personally, I just think some things aren't meant to be on camera or anybody else's business, and it should be kept private, especially if you know that they are very touchy and you're willing to show a lot of emotion because the situation is still, kind of dearest to your heart. Now, reason being, as soon as Sean Cotton asked her to detail the day that Tooka was killed and how it went, you could see it in her eyes, man, that she immediately broke down inside. Her eyes began tearing up. She began shaking. Her lips a little quivering as she talked. But in retrospect, I guess sometimes it's best for people to talk to others about their situations and their problems so they can vent, to be able to get all that, the bottled emotions out. So it's really up to the type of person you are. Some people are different. Some people rather hold it in. Some people can't. Some people rather vent and, get it all out that way, and feel a little better so they could get the weight off their shoulders. But anyway, let's talk about it. Sean Cotton asked Tooka's mom to explain in detail what led to Tooka passing away the day he was shot and killed. Now, I'm glad I watched because I actually learned some things myself. It's like we usually know the basics, but from the outside looking in, we never know the full details, especially coming from a parent's point of view. Now, Ms. Dominique explains that she was trying to get Tooka back into school because Tooka got into it with a teacher and was sent home on a suspension. He was supposed to go with his sister to a doctor's appointment, but ended up hiding until she left just so he could go back up to the school because he had a wrestling match that very day. But real quick also, y'all, as I was listening to her talk, I was thinking how crazy life works. All right, you see, he was suspended, he was sent home, he's supposed to stay home or go with his sister to the doctor's appointment, right? And maybe that was a sign so he could not be around when the ops was going to be, but instead he ended up trying to go back to the school. He had the wrestling match and came back, and that's when he met his fate on his way home. All right, so it's just crazy how life works. I think about things like that. I feel it was like a sign, but anyway, let's get into it. So it says, she explained that the wrestling helped him get out his anger and he loved wrestling. And that day he called her after the wrestling match to tell her that he did it. He was so enthused, he won. And she told him to come on home. keep in mind, as she's explaining this, she's breaking down, man. You can see it on her face, you can see it in her eyes, you can hear it in her voice. And it shows that these wounds don't always heal with time like people think they do, man. Especially losing someone close, let alone a child. It was 11 years ago. What is it, 2011? It's now 2022, almost 2023. And she's still breaking down as if it was just yesterday. Alright, so she says that she was seasoning chicken over the sink, waiting for her son to come home, but instead she received a phone call from a detective. Now, the infamous note that the ops always speak about in their lyrics and, you know, the trolling, that was in his back pocket or the side pocket. She explained that the paper was a note that it was sending Tooka home pretty much. Alright, now the detective asks if she is his mom, explains that Tooka been involved in the shooting. She explains that she calls a guy that she was messing with at the time because I guess him and Tooka got into it, and that led her getting into it with him because she says that he said that what was it? I'm sorry. He said that she always letting Tooka say whatever he wants. Alright, so she called him and he came to take her to the scene. I guess, you know, he was looking at her, asking her like, yo, did they say that he was shot or whatever the case may be? He already kind of had in his mind that, you know, Tooka was passed away. And, you know, for future reference, y'all, God forbid any of y'all go through this, but if you do, if you know, you was called by a detective saying that somebody you know has been shot, a lot of times, if they tell you to come to the scene or whatever, it's either to identify the body or for you to come and see the body. 9 times out of 10, that person is deceased or whatever the case may be. You know, just you know, future reference. But keep in mind, she said also that she spoke to Tooka at 6:04 and says that he was dead by 6:12. Alright, now when they arrived, she thought that Tooka would be in the ambulance or somewhere, so she was searching for him and going by the ambulance until she seen a white sheet next to her and police started holding her back. She says instantly her natural instincts was, you know, once she seen Tooka and noticed that it was him on the ground, was pretty much to grab him off the floor like any mother would. But as she was explaining what happened, she started breaking down crying herself. You know, very unfortunate. Now, another thing I didn't know is that she said it took about 6 hours before they removed his body off the floor, and he was on the ground for so long that the concrete left a print on the side of his face. Alright, and it seemed that it hit her harder as she remembered and was reminiscing in her head that it took them 6 hours to get a child off the streets. And when I think about it, 6 hours is insane. You know, just think about it. I always say that police and the EMT workers, they function as if they don't care about us. Let's be real. Do you think they'll leave any other race on the floor for 6 hours? You know, what even took that long to begin with? You know, so she didn't begin explaining about the last thing she remembered of Tooka was him telling her that he's coming home, and he never did. And ironically, she lost her mother at a very young age, so she remembers watching what her grandmother had to go through, losing her only child as well. You know, so like I said, I did this video also because I think we could learn a very important lesson. A lot of times, y'all hear I always say, I don't promote anybody dissing the dead. I don't entertain it. I don't think it's cool. I don't do it myself. And it's for reasons like this. You know, y'all don't know who y'all affect when y'all diss these drill artists that passed away. I know y'all think that being funny or hurting the guys they affiliate with and trolling is all cool, but what y'all tend to forget is that y'all also hurting family and loved ones that got nothing to do with the streets as well. You know, innocent people as well. Y'all forget that these dudes got parents, little brothers, little sisters, also kids that they leave behind. They gotta relive the situation every time they hear somebody dissing a person that they love. Alright, it's really no morals anymore, but on the flip side, it's like, can we really even be mad? Because at the end of the day, this is what the drill culture is. You know, this is what the culture is based on, unfortunately. You know, dissing each other as well as their dead homies. So, yeah, like I said, it's an unfortunate situation, man. Rest in peace, Tooka. Condolences to his mother and his family. And y'all jump in the comments, let me know how y'all feel about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.